All right, Shalom. First, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Racha Kodash, the honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. I just saw this article one of the brothers put in our group chat, and it's pretty interesting. You know how I am with the articles, all right? But this is says here, Hong Kong enters recession as media decry treatments of journalists. Hong Kong has fallen into recession, hit by more than 5 months of anti government protests that show no signs of relenting, and is unlikely to achieve any growth this year, the city's financial secretary said. Yeah, because now we're going into what? The time of Christmas, the time of Thanksgiving, Black Friday, all these different days where people do a lot of shopping. Okay, but if they're protesting and they're setting things on fire, all right, they're messing with the economic chain, all right, dealing with the whole supply and demand and all of that. Okay, so it says black clad and masked demonstrators set fire to shops and hurled petrol bombs at police in the Chinese ruled city on Sunday. Police responded with tear gas, water cannon, and rubber bullets. The blow to our economy is comprehensive, Paul Chan said in a blogspot, adding that a preliminary estimate of third quarter GDP, all right, which is gross domestic product, on Thursday would show two successive quarters of contraction, the technical definition of a recession. All right. So all these protests and all that is led their country because now people aren't, doing what they do on a daily, day-to-day basis, which allows for a smooth running economy. Okay, so this is sort of like throwing a wrench, all right, in that path and messing up the whole, vehicle, or so to speak. All right. And don't be surprised if this comes to America because it's well on its way and other parts of the world. Okay. But it says he also said it would be extremely difficult to achieve the government's pre-protest forecast of 0.1% annual economic growth. The rallying cry of Sunday's protest was to fight perceived police brutality and defend Muslims and journalists. Because yeah, you have a whole thing going on there where they even said they were throwing some Muslims in concentration camps, torturing them and stuff to make them communists. It says police last weekend fired water cannon at a group of people standing outside a mosque, and journalists have been wounded in the clashes. So now you have first it was about the whole extradition bill, and now it's basically mingling and becoming this and becoming that. So all you've seen is just protests with different reasons. All right. The programming staff union of public broadcaster RTHK said on Monday it had called on police to identify officers who attacked and ripped the face mask off one of its journalists on Sunday. It said she was wearing a reflective vest, clearly identifying herself as a journalist. It was not immediately clear if she was wearing a mask to protect against tear gas and pepper spray. Ordinary face masks were banned this month under a resurrected colonial era emergency law. Hong Kong Free Press and an online news service called for the release of a freelance photographer arrest on Sunday. Yeah, because with all that chaos going on, you have in protest, journalists, which they always, always trying to be in the midst of whatever news is going on. They're running around with these people too. So the police or the cops are just looking at them like, yo, man, it's just a whole bunch of people out here, you know? But yeah, like I said, they have these special vests that they wear. All right, sort of like an identifier that we're not we're not we're not protesters, we're journalists. You know. All right, so it says uh The city's Foreign Correspondents Club condemned the arrest in a statement on Monday, calling for an independent investigation into police violence against journalists and interference with media's right to cover the protests under Hong Kong law. The police who denying using excessive force in life-threatening situations were due to hold a news conference later on Monday. Protesters have routinely torched storefronts and businesses, including banks, particularly those owned by mainland Chinese companies, and vandalized the city's MTR Corp metro, which has shut down services to stop protesters gathering. Now, this you can see why it's causing that uh, uh, that recession, man. Imagine they shut down the MTA. Seeing people are protesting too much, and Chase banks all across are getting, hit with and torched, set on fire, you know, different businesses, storefronts. That's affecting the economy, man. Because these are all, you could say, supply, supply, suppliers, you know, and in an economy, you have what? You have supply and demand. Okay, the supply has to meet the demand. Okay, because if the demand is higher than the supply, that's not good. But if the supply is higher than the demand, that's also not good. It says the MTR has closed early of the past few weeks and said it would again shut it down 2 hours early on Monday to repair damage. Protesters are angry about what they view as increasing interference by Beijing in Hong Kong, which returned to Chinese rule in 1997 under a one country, two systems formula intended to guarantee freedoms not seen on the mainland. China denies meddling. It has accused foreign governments, including the United States and Britain, of stirring up trouble. Tourist numbers have plummeted, with visit numbers down nearly 50% in October, a decline Chen called an emergency. Retail operators, from prime shopping malls to family-run businesses, have been forced to close for multiple days over the past few months. Okay? You see how these protests are more than just people running around and rioting and throwing bombs. No, this affects the whole economy. Okay? Like it tells you in the book of Second Esdras, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. All right, they're gonna do what they want. While authorities have announced measures to support local and small, medium-sized enterprises, Chan said the measures could only slightly reduce the pressure. Let citizens return to normal life. Let industry and commerce operate normally and create more space for rational dialogue, he wrote. Well, how by the time they quote unquote return to normal life, think the damage won't be too much, you know? And that's if they return to normal life. They've been doing this for months. So that's something to keep in mind too, man. All right, you have this whole trade war with US and China. Okay. But basically, yeah, this is another news update. Okay, you have Hong Kong, which has entered a recession due to these protests. So the world is falling apart. All right, the system, this age, is all falling apart, man. Everywhere, things are just breaking down, collapsing. And that's all the will and the doing of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. All right, that's the doing of the Most High. Okay, so hey, this place is through, man. This place is finished. It doesn't have any more time left. All right, but I hope this was edifying unto the elect. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Kodash. Until next time, Shalom.